to another stream. Yes, or as I usually say, good evening. I am a bit under the weather today, it seems, so make it what you want, but that's just the reality of it, I guess. If the wearer has 10 or more stacks of blood blessed, they gain solve. Okay. Whenever the wearer makes a melee attack, they regain one. Okay, that's really good as well. Okay, so we are actually, first thing we're going to do, we leveled up yesterday, and what we have here, I've actually cheated a bit. Until the end of combat, all toxin burning effects from any source inflicted by the executioner's enemy ignore. Okay, so pretty much more damage. Whenever the Carnival Misery is used, all enemies suffering from any damage over time immediately suffer additional instance of the damage over time effect. That's also really good. All enemies in combat immediately suffer bleeding, burning, and toxic level affected equal to the character's level divided by 10. So that would mean right now we would actually get... What level are they? 26. So that would mean they actually get 2.6. So that would be rounded down to 2. So everyone get 2 burning and stuff like that. Burning is one of those things we can put out insanely high. But here's the kicker that actually made me go like, what the fuck? Until the end of combat, all Executioner's allies are healed by damage over time effects instead of suffering damage. The number of wounds restored is equal to the amount of damage that would have been dealt by the effect after all modifiers are applied. That would mean we're turning our Psyker into a fucking healer. And I can't say no to that. I cannot say no to that. Because that feels absolutely bonkers. Why are we losing? I don't know why we're losing. That feels absolutely bonkers. That was something I wanted to check. Okay. Abelard. Abelard, what do we have for you? Until the end of Vanguard, gain momentum. Okay, yep. Let's check this before... Oh my god. Okay, that's weird. That's really weird. Okay. Unyielding until the next turn, the Vanguard can't die. That's really good. Until the start of the Vanguard's next turn, each attack made by the Vanguard makes them priority target for the enemy. Until the end of combat, all allies within 3 cell radius suffer. Until the end of combat, all allies in the 3 cell radius around the Vanguard suffer Vanguard's toughness divided by 2 less damage. Fellowship bonus momentum for each attack that hits them. Yeah. I think we're going with that, honestly. Yeah. And Agatha, what do we have for you? Archmilitant can use heroic acts of Archmilitant archetype and heroic acts of warrior or soldier archetype in a single combat. Okay, that means if you die, you come back. Until the end of combat, every attack grants a 2% stacking bonus to critical hit chance. That sounds really good. We have another one here, so we're going to have 2 of these. So we can pick up this one, and then pick up this one later. I think that's the way we're going to do it. The maximum number of action points granted taken hold is increased by 5. This archetype character Grant chooses a combat tactic area. All allies within the area. Every ally inside the area gains an extra turn plus 1 AP and start of the green turns. Every enemy that is killed in the selected tactical area. This is AP increased, but okay. I don't really use this one. All allies in the selected area have increased weapon and ballistic skill. Yeah, that sounds really good. Until the end of combat, whenever, yeah, that just makes it so you heal. That's great. And Jay, what do we have for you? Last Orchestra Firestorm. Last volley can be used multiple times per combat, once per turn. Master Tactician. I think that one. Master Tactician and 1 random ally makes 2 attacks instead of 1 during the. Okay, yeah, let's go that. And that's the people we're going to have in the crew. The thing is, I don't really know what to put on my rogue trader as like a main weapon, so to say. We have gone full in on burning, and now our burns actually heals our allies as well. So we are going full ham on this, and I guess that's the way we're going to go. And we are going to. We're checking this first. I'm actively making it so we can. Unidentified ruins? Okay. Oh, it's this one. Oh, I remember this one. I never really understood this one. Okay, so this is the unidentified ruins.
In my way.
I offer up my thanks to thee, O Messiah, for granting me the ability to serve you as a predator whose prey is knowledge.
Something goes wrong. The shockwave hits you instead of the blockage.
Serves. I woke up with blood is my life. Death
Seriously?
is my duty. The Vizier. Would he be proud? Am I?
Okay. We blow that up.
Searching is my observance.
Oh, we got a chest here. What's in there? A small chest made from strange material, no keyhole or any other opening. The murky crystal has a lid is cracked but continues to glow inscrutably.
The remains of unknown structures are haphazardly strewn about the plateau.
Oh, my nerves afraid.
Okay. Athletics.
Compared to naval service,
Found it.
that was barely a challenge.
The shadows reveal their secrets.
Let's uncover the pattern. Ooh, okay. What do we have here?
This human skeleton is curled up in an unnatural position. It is inside a void suit with a hole burned right through it.
They will
Oh,
see.
good.
Oh yes, they all will see.
We have another corpse here. Can't do anything with that.
Someone has carved a strange pattern on the floor. As you look at the lines, a fog descends over your mind.
I'm still standing.
Let's check it here. Okay. So,
Must be my smuggler's instincts.
presumably... Please, no. Okay.
It seems the pattern no longer works.
Okay, so... Wait. Goods? There's something here? Here as well. Oh my god.
A furious male voice is coming from the old Vox. This is Captain Trevor DeHath, calling the bullion. Get your asses back to the surface and get me out of here, you shits. My guts may be fused to my suit, but I'm not dead yet, no matter how much you wish it were otherwise. A moment later, the raging tone gives way to strangled rasping. Hey. Can any of you hear me? Respond. I'll pay double, just don't leave me here. Damn it. It was going so well. We even figured out how to open the first sphere thanks to the pattern on the floor. Yeah. Who knew there'd be so much trouble with the second one? I didn't. They didn't
So-
either. Cowards. The moment that beam was directed back, I was already lying with my guts turned inside out, and they were running off with my goods. Oh, Emperor, you whoreson, why'd you leave me like that?
One step at a time.
I'm scared. Oh
Amidst
yes,
the
yes.
madness.
No, I don't want to die. Not alone. Aren't you supposed to watch over all your children?
Soothes
Quiet.
my soul.
Quiet, you lot, shut it already. I
What?
can't even hear myself. The recording is silent for a few moments. All you can hear is the sound of someone pounding the shell of a void suit with the recording device. I'm cold. I wonder if I'll die from lack of oxygen, or will my organs give out earlier.
Why
The damned
is
god.
it...
The damned Imperium. In the end, you will all serve the true masters. The human speech gradually deteriorates into an indecipherable mixture of howling and clicking sounds.
Hey, this should work.
Look, in the jaws.
Oh, a 4 sword. Deals damage plus psi rating. Damage? Okay, that's...
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
We got another box. Can we do anything more with you? Can we place the other box in it? Okay. there. That there. Okay. Does this actually do anything?
It seems the pattern no longer works.
What lies beyond?
Do we still have the box? Hello, yes. Do we still have the box? It doesn't look like we have the box. So it could fully well be that we already opened it. And
There will be no peace in my wake.
do we have anything more over here? I don't think so. I don't know.
Unexpected result.
We don't have any more patterns, do we?
The ruins vaguely resemble the architecture of the Imperium, and yet there is some subtle difference to these structures.
I don't know how to solve that. Is there another way to solve it? Did we open the box that we got? And that's the only thing we have? I think that might be the case, but I'm really unsure now.
Patience. Oh, my nerves are frayed.
A single look at this strange pattern is enough to send your mind reeling.
Okay.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Okay, let's try this again.
It seems the pattern no longer works.
They will see. Oh yes, they all will see.
Okay, do we have any more clues? I don't think we do have any more clues,
Nothing
do we?
matters more.
And I think we don't know the solution to it, period. Doesn't have look like anything there. Can't see any more patterns on the floor. We have that. Might be something under there, but we don't really know.
In this tapestry of a world,
But it looks like the thing we had
the rope
disappeared.
thread.
We got ourselves a chest, and the chest has disappeared from our inventory. So I presume that is that we don't need. Yeah, we don't have anything to do here anymore. Okay, we're still missing one piece to this mysterious handguard. We have the one of the shards. I think it's at least one of the shards. Okay.
One step at a time.
Let's go and see
amidst
if we
the
can find something
madness.
else. I'm just having a look over the map. There's no more patterns in the floor anywhere. There I can see we found the chest there. I don't know. was this called? It was called Unidentified Ruins. I'm going to be so cheeky. I'm googling this shit. I'm googling this shit. Okay, so there is a thing to it. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. By the way, how are you doing, Aegis? How are you doing? It's just I'm being stupid, it seems.
Oh, what lies beyond?
Hmm. Less to worry about. Yeah. Okay. So I need to do...
Patience? My nerves are frayed.
I can't find it in my inventory. That's the thing that bothers me. You can solve the puzzle. First one, the left one, then the right one. The ancient force sword. We picked that one. After aligning the force sword, you need to pick up the cracked Xenos chest on the upper right of the map and realign the lights in the following pattern.
Whisper and be heard.
So we need to go, that needs to go there. No, needs to go into that one there.
My visions.
Then that needs to go into that one.
And many others.
That one needs to go over to that one. And that one needs to go up there. And then that needs to go into that.
Look, in the jaws.
The wearer... Whenever the wearer kills an enemy, they receive the stacking 5% to willpower until the end of combat. That is great. And that is an Eldari helmet. Collect
Close
all.
ranks. Hold fast.
Okay. And we got ourselves a boss fight.
The battleground beckons.
You can do it, search. Yeah, I needed to actually Google it because I had no clue how to actually force this encounter. Okay. Battle. Prepare battle. We have pink horrors. Those going to be rough. We have a screamer as well. Okay. I presume we're going to have high warp. Where do we have you? You're far in the back, actually. Okay. No, we don't actually have any kind of warp stuff going on. That's good.
Request approved. The scriptural prognosis is favorable.
Okay, we are just going to burn and turn them, pretty much. That's the idea now.
My vow is to serve.
Abelard is going to take care of that pink horror. And I think Kybella is going to go for it as well. Let's see what's going to happen. Flyvenwaffer? I have one step. Okay. So we have her here. She has a full auto machine gun that is firing, what is it, 75 caliber bullets and the flamethrower, because can't go wrong with both. Bring back the good memories from Deep Rock. Oh damn. The thing is, we're playing as this character. This character is a psyker, which is pretty much the word that is used for Warhammer 40k magicians.
The shadows will see it done.
So that is currently what we are. We are playing as a character that puts stuff on fire. A lot of things on fire.
War is my muse. A genius at work. Oh, a wicked thought.
Yeah, we have a lot of fire stuff going on for us. Hey, Bella might be in a
The
bad
enemies
position.
of the Emperor will be undone. Faith without deeds. As the Emperor comes.
Yep. And that's how you deal with monsters. You just hose them down with a 75 caliber full auto machine gun. That works. It's not over yet. These pink horrors split into two. So it's not over yet, but we're working on it. I need to line up this character and shoot him. Start stacking damage.
You've got a problem? Jai Hedari. Remember the name.
Enemies on the second. You do not have fireproof gear, do you? No, you do not.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
And we are not going to go in
It will
the
be
fire with
done.
you just yet. And that thing keeps dodging away, huh? We are going to move our parry zone forward. And
Request approved.
both of them dodged it. Fuck.
There is only death, yours or mine. Trust me.
We just
As
need
on our
to
old days.
start chunking them down a bit. I don't have vision to him, do
The
I?
storm approaches.
Can I? Oh no. Oh, I have vision to him there.
Let's see. What if?
They're not burning anymore, are they? Hmm. Okay, you're parrying. You're standing in the fire. Just holding your own. Okay, great. Yeah, I entered one zone, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. Yep, a dodge.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
And we're just going to
As the
host them
Emperor
down with a
commands.
full auto bolter again.
Shadows start to bleed.
The Emperor's strength.
I'll do it.
11. Yeah, we're not going to risk that at all.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
A moving target lives longer.
We are going
Don't
to
get
put
too cocky.
you. You can put an AoE attack on everyone here. Great. Then we go back to you.
Am I getting paid for this?
26 extra. It's high ground, so we can't hit both at the same time, I guess.
Me? Never in 1,000 sectors.
Heal Kybella a bit. And,
I can do that with the right incentive.
and you dodged it. Bullshit. It's still using the Thunder Hammer as a second weapon, huh? Don't want to go in with him in the fire because I might kill myself if I do that.
Calculate fury algorithm. Insignificant value.
Okay, great. You have 4... No, you only... The fire is 4 stacks.
As honor ordains, I shall not fail.
Okay. Then it's just you left.
The shadows will see.
Light sources grow painfully bright.
Overrexed. Okay. That means we've finished all the encounters in this place.
They will see. Oh, yes, they all will see.
Now we're leaving this planet. Let's go and fight some spaceships. That sounds so weird. We have an unknown amount of ships up here, but from... Yeah. Oh, I will. This game is one of those games where it's just like... Time disappears when I start up this game.
This lone mountain chain is composed entirely of a mineral with a shiny, mirror-like surface. The mineral itself has no particular value for production, but its properties make this place incredibly beautiful. The sky is brilliantly reflected in the many surfaces of the plateaus, oddly shaped rocks, stone arches, and columns. The view is especially stunning on clear starry nights, or when aurora trails dance in the sky. The enraptured crew have asked the Lord Captain's permission to visit this remarkable place.
Grant shore leave, yeah.
The shore leave passed without incident, and the ship's officers talked about it for weeks afterward. Even the Xenos Juliet marveled at the rock columns sprinkled with reflected stars. She even deigned to speak to the other officers, telling them the place reminded her of Krudaric, her home world.
Okay. So let's go and check out the unknown ships up here.
As soon as you draw close to the unknown ship, it points its loaded cannons directly at you. Several other ships emerge from the shadows of drifting asteroids, tightly encircling you. Captain Xanthalar Bouch offers a mocking greeting and a proposition. You can buy your way out of this, but the price must be to her soul's satisfaction. The outrageous suggestion sends your crew into a fury. You are in a no-win scenario. You can enter an uneven fight and lose everything, or shamefully pay to save your skin, sacrificing only your pride.
Informing the pirates that daring to threaten a rogue trader will not go unpunished.
Captain La Bouch makes her displeasure quite apparent but acknowledges that it would not be in her interests to cross the rogue trader. The nameless ships retreat swiftly into the warp, leaving you alone.
Nice. That was actually a fair amount of XP. To be fair, I think we would have gotten a ton of XP as well if we actually did the fight. But we're doing Dragonus today.
During the warp voyage, the middle decks reported strange gatherings that were attracting dozens of officers. An investigation quickly bore fruit. One of the acolytes from the auger deck has proclaimed himself a prophet and is rambling about purification by blessed fire. Only the perilous influence of the warp can explain the strange convictions and uncanny zeal of this person.
Dispose of the newly emerged prophet and ban the cult.
The mysterious disappearance of the prophet and more frequent inspections of decks and living quarters quickly put an end to the growing popularity of the sect. After a few days, the people who visited the gatherings preferred to simply put the episode behind them.
Yeah. We actually... No, doing Dragonus today. We're doing Dragonus.
The Medici teams from the lower decks reported the appearance of a dense purple fog that causes people to develop mutant deformities, short tentacles roughly the length of a pinky finger. Since the deformities do not interfere with the crew's performance, the Medici are not certain whether this phenomenon should be a cause for concern, but the riffraff are already whispering of heresy.
Or exterminate the corrupt crew members.
The corrupted were granted the Emperor's mercy, their bodies consigned to the purifying flame. At least their souls were safe from the Immatrium's treachery.
Yep. We need to repair our ship now. Okay, we're visiting the system. That means we are now in Dragonus, the head planet
Lord
for
Captain,
the rogue
Master
trader.
Helmsman on the line. I can report that the quest for the capital world of the von Valancius dynasty is finally at an end. Darganus is straight ahead. We have received countless greetings. Your subjects would like to know when their mistress will be arriving. The merchant captains taking refuge in the orbital docks of Darganus race to send you priceless welcoming gifts, hoping to buy your favor and to make an impression on the rogue trader.
Tell Dragonus the rogue trader is coming home.
It will be done, Lord Captain. After the connection to the Master Helmsman is cut, the device crackles with Heinrich's voice. Lord Captain, I will be pleased to accompany you during your visit to Darganus so I can personally introduce Achilles Scalander, a servant of the Golden Throne who previously attended Lady Theodora on Darganus. I am counting on your benevolence. The Voxcast ends with a click.
Okay. Let's check the planets in the system. Already have that. Begin scan. What do we have here?
Intriguing surface topography. It is possible that the molten rock of the mantle poured out as a consequence of a natural cataclysm or a collision with the celestial body.
We're really close. We're 200 XP away from actually getting next level. We have an Adeptus Mechanicus ship here.
Lord Captain, a transport shuttle bearing the markings of the Adeptus Mechanicus is approaching the ship. Magus Tarsus's delegation intends to board our ship and gain an audience with your ladyship. This is exactly how they phrased it. He intends, not humbly requests.
Okay.
Many of my tech comrades neglect diplomacy when interacting with the laity. It is regrettable.
Tell them to get lost and learn some manner. Punish them for their disrespect by letting them dock at the furthest and most dilapidated airlock so that it takes them an eternity to traverse the ship. No, we're receiving the delegation. They may be here on important business.
It will be done, Lord Captain. Requesting permission to be present at the audience granted to my tech comrades.
Yep. So we're on the officer's upper deck now.
There will be no peace in my wake.
A group dressed in the crimson of the priesthood of Mars walks toward you. Their gazes are fixed on Pasquale. You note that the group is not monolithic. Some of its members are more heavily armed and follow a large tech priest clad in battle armor. Others keep a respectful distance and cast enquiring looks at their own leader, whose hunched posture belies his tall frame. Despite the hood hiding his face, you recognize him as Opticon 22, whom you encountered on Footfall. The enormous tech priest points his hand at Pasquale and lets out a booming roar not unlike a factory alarm. It makes your very bones vibrate. Herald servo skulls marked with the emblem of the cog follow in his wake. They blare shrilly.
Thou shalt not suffer a heretic in thy forge, for rust begets rust. Pasquale Hanuman, in the name of the Adeptus Mechanicus, you are under arrest.
The hunched servant of the Omnisar turns to you.
Diplomacy mode engaged. Announcement: the Adeptus Mechanicus / offer their apologies for / would like to inform you of the necessity of / conducting an operation to / detain / arrest / terminate / a faulty unit on the rogue trader's territory.
/ Study the tech priests.
You identify the rare armor the enormous tech priest is wearing as a Secutor's plated, mechanized suit. It carries the imprints of many battles and has markings that announce its status as a relic. Some of the armor's damage looks fairly severe, to the point of endangering its operation. The slivers of flesh revealed under the steel are marked with terrible chemical burns. Every now and then, convulsions shake the tech priest's body, and a painful-sounding hiss comes from his vox. The tall tech priest who spoke to you looks more peaceful and makes a point of not drawing his weapon. There is an air of concern about the way he frequently glances over at his fellow, scrutinizing his condition.
Who are you?
In a burst of chattering, the servo skulls hasten to translate their master's mighty binary howl.
An instrument of the Omnissiah authorized to punish and exact vengeance, known by the designation Tarsus Hanuman. Identification codes recognized and confirmed. These units are who they declare themselves to be.
On what charge are you trying to arrest a member of my retinue?
This heretic is accused of stealing personal identification codes, spreading tech heresy on the world of Kieva Gamma, and making an attempt on the life of a servant of the Omnissiah.
The deafening roar from the tech priest's vox makes you grimace in pain. You touch your ear and notice blood on your fingers.
The faulty unit will be removed. In the name of the Omnissiah, I condemn you.
Lightning flashes across the warrior's armor. Agony resounds in the blare of his vox alarm. In contrast, Pasquale speaks quietly and coldly.
You are malfunctioning, tech comrade. I deem your logical conclusions questionable. The statement is false. Tech brother Tarsus Hanuman is willingly undergoing holy / torment / deterioration / which however / does not affect / does not critically affect / his cognitive capacity for data analysis. Unit calling itself Pasquale Hanuman, we have information that implicates you. Having learned that you are / a member of the retinue / a maintenance specialist in the service / of rogue trader von Valancius, we have come here with the goal of / meeting you / intercepting you / engaging you in combat /
Oh, you're I'm not handing over. I'm not handing over Pascal unless I see evidence. Let us get to the bottom of this together. Grimace, does this fellow have to roar?
Negative. Upon completing his sanctification procedure, Tech Brother Tarzus / vowed / modified his engrammatic cogmatics algorithms in order / never to / desecrate / sully / tarnish / his / mouth / vox / cognitive process / with flesh speak.
The servo skulls screech.
Mine is a pure and binary tongue that preserves only what is true and shuns scrap data.
Are you saying this bloodthirsty Hulk is a saint?
This statement is true. Brother Tarzus has the / honor of wearing / authorization to wear / the sacred battle harness that belonged to Magus Militant Auspector Gracchus, one of the first / champions of the faith / holy scouts / to join the cause of conquering the Coronis expanse. After / his death / the termination of his vital functions / at the hands of Xenos, his damaged Goliath class armor was preserved and given the status of a relic. The Adeptus Mechanicus regard this act as voluntary / martyrdom / self-destruction / for the glory of the Deus Mechanicus. This battle harness is classified as Cogni armor. The machine spirit living in it is strong and wise, but it took major damage in the course of Magus Gracchus's last battle. Besides sacred litanies and imperatives of service to the Omnissiah, the armor broadcasts a continuous signal of suffering and agony into Tech Brother Tarzus's mind.
Okay. Wait a minute, what's happening on Kiva Gamma? That planet belongs to me.
According to Vox interception data, the planet's fabricator sensor made / incorrect / blasphemous / modifications to manufacture working procedures, which qualifies as a lapse into sacrilege. The Adeptus Mechanicus are hereby officially notifying House von Valancius of having commenced an / investigation into / operation to remove / fabricator sensor Cubus Delphim. Estimated time to procedure completion, 3.7 solar years. Our data suggests that the unit which used Magus Explorator Hanuman's identification code performed an unauthorized upgrade on the planetary Vox array and introduced data deemed to be scrap code into its operation. This fact points to this unit's criminal complicity with the heretic Cubus Delphim.
What do you say about this, Pascal? What do you have to say about this, Pascal?
Pasquale replies firmly, his vox crackling with a hint of indignation.
I deny these charges. I never plotted against my tech comrade. My cognitive purity vows were never distorted. My unique identification code was never stolen. I am the true Magus Explorator Hanuman, and I am not guilty.
The tech priest's deep, guttural roar blends with the servo skull's high-pitched whine.
False witness.
Point at the furious servants of the Omnissiah. Do you have any proof that this tech priest is the one he claims to be?
Confirmed. According to the archive entry 1E99237, Magus Explorator Tarzus Hanuman / served on / maintained / the ship, identifier classified, in the capacity of a reliquary caretaker. He sustained extensive damage to both the organic and the sacred part of his body in / a series of sacrilegious breaches of the rite of operation / an assassination attempt / owing to a statistically fortunate coincidence / by the Omnissiah's grace / enough of his operational capacity was preserved for him to don a Goliath model sacred battle harness, which would preserve his / vital functions / functionality / archive entry personally data sealed by the captain of the identifier classified.
The sound from the tech priest's vox is like the moan of a bending steel beam. A servo skull declares,
For vengeance I thirst as I tread the path of vengeance, following a blasphemous miscreant's bloody tracks. Analysis of the security system showed that the / assassins / heretics / infiltrated the reliquary using Tech Brother Tarzus's unique identification code. Someone had / stolen / duplicated / Brother Tarzus's identity, which is a grade 3 transgression. And the unit making the allegedly criminal claim of being Pasquale Hanuman is known to have previously / used / entered / the stolen code.
I'm not handing over Pascal to you unless I see evidence. Let's get to the bottom of this together.
Request approved. Ready to work in cooperative mode.
Tarsus gives you a haughty look and lets out a howl of wrath.
Archiving. Tech Brother Tarsus opposes lay participation in the // investigation / search for the truth / The unit Opticon 22 advises in favor of the House von Valancius representative's participation request.
I think you and I should continue this discussion in private. The big chap is creating friction.
Request denied. Tech Brother Tarsus has passed sanctification and has relic privileges. I lack the / authority / access level necessary / to command this unit.
There is a hint of animosity toward the bloodthirsty tech priest in Opticon 22's voice.
I insist on a joint investigation. Arresting a road trader's retinue member without any justification stands in breach of the law of my privilege under the warrant of trade. Yep.
Request for cooperation reviewed and accepted. I request Tech Brother Tarsus's consent to the CO participation of representatives of the von Valancius dynasty in the investigation proceedings. A sacrilegious conspiracy. I refuse help from lay persons. I am a cog of the Deus Mechanicus that grinds down corruption, and I will carry out the sentence immediately.
Pasquale freezes, but green sparks light up in his visor. He extends a hand toward Tarsus and replies, in a clanging voice.
Let the cycle be discontinued.
You realize Pasquale's words are coming from both his own vox and Tarsus's. Then every sensor on the executioner's battle harness lights up at once, blindingly, and the wounded armored Leviathan lets out a deafening roar of pain.
Okay.
Attention. Priority notification. Service units of the Kappa Thread supply line are unauthorized to confront the rogue trader. Command, retreat and reinitiate negotiations.
Okay, so
Oh, glorious spectacle of your demise!
why can't I have access to Skitari? That has to be one of the things I'm actually the most salty about. The fact that you can't actually have access to Skitari.
Request approved. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. My vow is to serve.
That's him, then adept.
The genius at work!
Tell me, and it is done.
Let's see. Oh, a wicked thought.
Don't get too cocky.
Idea right now is we're going to... Oh, already 20. We're going to move
Pain and
Agatha...
duty go hand in hand.
I will endure.
Ouch.
I will leave footprints of scarlet. Trust me. As the tenants. as honor ordains.
Okay. We're going to move Agatha here.
Rejoice in
Switch
battle.
to the flamethrower. We're going to light you guys on fire. That's a fair amount already.
Doubt is
We're
for the
going to
weak.
pop that. And we're going to...
As the
light
Emperor
you two on
commands,
fire as
act.
well. Missed him. Okay, fair enough. Then we're going to take that.
Guided by faith.
And we're going to light
Faith without
you on
deeds is
fire as well.
worthless.
And then we're popping this. Okay. Go for this one.
My ears are ringing. Target well struck.
A predictable downfall.
Okay. Good. He's burning, he's
Just a
initiating in
minor
combat.
setback.
Then it's next turn.
Heavy is the tread of his
I don't want to hit Kybella.
running
That's a
by
better
narrow
shot.
right.
And we're going to put that down there.
Let the bodies pile. Another stroke of genius.
Oh fuck. That is really OP. That is fucking amazing.
Let's see.
You've got a problem, I've got a prize.
Indeed.
Another one.
Oh, the combo is coming together. Oh, it's so nasty.
Requesting cessation of hostilities.
Pointed. Tarzan, help your brother.
The unit that called itself Tarsus Hanuman / is dead / has been disabled / This material asset is beyond restoration or reuse as spare parts.
After a pause, Pasquale bores his head, and a binary requiem pours out of his vox.
Despite his misconceptions, he was a servant of the Omnissiah.
I'm not tired at all. In fact, I can finish you off to your worst. What? I'm sorry that I had to kill your comrade.
I also / regret / have a negative assessment of / this event. The Adeptus Mechanicus still accuse the unit identifying itself as Pasquale Hanuman of criminal theft of a unique identification code. Unlike Tech Brother Tarsus, I am not authorized to immediately / arrest / execute / the unit, but neither am I authorized to drop the inquiry. There are no apostates among us.
The piercing voice from the vox synth is more overwhelming than Tarsus's thunderous roar.
Tech Brother Tarsus and the machine spirit that lived in his battle harness succumbed to the suffering that beset them. Their judgment was rash and erroneous. Now their torment is over. I declare them martyrs, and am requisitioning Tarsus Hanuman's neural augmetic for the purposes of preserving his blessed memory.
Yep.
As astonished tech priests look on, Pasquale leans over the slain man's body and extracts the augmetic from his skull.
Listen in
His movements
silence.
are as precise as they are respectful. With each word, Pasquale's voice grows more powerful and majestic.
He's walking
You
again.
saw the agony your Tech Brother Tarsus was in. His unbridled, pain-spurred faith intimidated you, yet you were silent. Reverence stopped you from raising your voices to proclaim that the machine spirit with which his mind had merged was morbidly afflicted. The imperative of reverence had paralyzed your will, and you watched a tragedy unfold in silence. The sixth universal law states that comprehension is the true path to knowledge. Yet the procedural cycle has robbed you of your comprehension. Therefore, let the cycle be discontinued.
There is a clang as Opticon 22's knee presses into the floor. Crimson hooded heads are bowed.
Let the cycle be discontinued.
The radiant light pouring out of Pasquale's visor grows dimmer. Static creeps back into his voice.
Let the cycle be discontinued, tech comrades.
Pascal, there is a small point I'm not clear on. What just happened?
Pasquale's Vox synth crackles somewhat tentatively.
I decided to sustain my words with an excerpt from one of the Blessed Amarnat's sermons, on loss of internal and external function, verse 4. My analysis deemed it appropriate.
Now, what is the reason for this?
2. What is the reason for this act of genuflection?
It has been a long time since the words of the Messiah of discontinuing were last spoken / openly / over public communication bans / We respectfully welcome wisdom's return. So he is not forgotten after all.
The Messiah of discontinuing. Is that how you refer to Amaranth?
Following Archmagus Amarnat's partial / laicization / removal from the chain of command / that was the authorship attribution on a series of sermons on discontinuing the cycle that were disseminated across the cognizance fleet. It was, in fact, a title used by many. In times past.
Do we know where he is now?
Data unavailable. No reports have mentioned Archmagus Amarnat since the incident on the Arc Mechanicus Heretical which led to the / presumed destruction / disappearance / of that void ship. My archive has no data on the Heretico incident. The vessel was the Blessed Amarnat's base of operations. Is it lost, then?
Pasquale's voice is filled with anxiety.
Were you among his followers?
Negative. I had no contact with Archmagus Amarnat and was never a member of his / flock / disciples / retinue /. However, my analysis of the doctrine he outlined inspired in me deep / respect for / trust in / him.
I presume the conflict between you and Pascal has been resolved. Let's go with this one.
This statement is false. Contrary to what many servants of the Omnissiah / thought they knew / preferred to believe / the fleet's supreme conclave never / formulated / issued / an official statement on that decision. 37% of the supreme conclave's members openly supported Archmagus Amarnat's views and / disappeared / were removed from the chain of command / under circumstances that were classified. The supreme conclave has not had a quorum ever since.
I presume the conflict between you and Pascal has been resolved?
The data received provides a basis for calling the fallen tech brother Tarzis's hypothesis into question. / out of respect for / due to lack of authorization to indict / the followers of the Messiah of discontinuing, we will not proceed with the / detainment / arrest / termination / The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Thank you, Tech Brother Opticon 22.
Clear off, or I will yet spill more on sacred unguents. Now the conflict has been resolved. You may remain aboard my ship.
Request denied. The Kappa Thread supply line delegation is leaving Dargonis, expresses gratitude for the / hospitality / ceasefire / and proclaims its intent to return to Footfall to resume performing its regular functions.
Okay.
The tech Pasquale's mechadendrite briefly touches the shoulder of Opticon 22, who bows respectfully.
Okay, time to loot! Yeah. So we got a new axe. Axe inflict bleeding. It's worse than the one we have. It has a power sword, which is worse than the ones we have. Improved vest, flak armor. So, nothing really. Okay. Okay. So... we are going to pick up Where do we have it? Every time the Psychic kills or scores a critical against 8 creatures in one combat, the Psyker's next attack will not... Okay. Whenever the Psyker's powers, all enemies adjacent to the Psyker suffer... Bloody Flames... Psychic Barrage... Scribe the Soul... Blade of Light. I don't really care about the psychic power. The psychic can use psychic powers while being threatened by enemies in melee without provoking opportunities. Non-damaging psychic power do not provoke even with this talent. Psychic resolve is increased while the veiled degradation is 10 or lower. We're playing with fairly high veiled degradation all the time, so that would be a bad move from us. We are picking up the flame weapons. Here's the thing. If we pick that one up, that's going to be a good thing overall, because that means the damage output I can output is going to increase immensely. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of want to pick that up, because that means we actually have a weapon we can do continuously. For instance of damage dealt by the execution damage over time. Insolence verdict. Maximum weapon damage divided by 5. Death in the air. All bleeding enemies leave a trail of blood on the ground, remaining one. Okay, so how much is the health bonus we get from toughness? For each point, toughness increased by 10. How is our medical skill? It is 40. So we lose health if we pick that one up. Suffer damage over time. Increased by 100%. No, we're going with the flame weapon. That is the solid best thing we can pick up. Flame weapon proficiency. Right? It has to be, right? Toxin. Like, the most of the things we actually do is fire damage. And the rest of the points here, like, when an party member is suffering from any damage of a time effect, these deal only 50% of the damage. Stacking, multiplying. No, because our plan right now is pump that. No, weakness tracking. Damage dealt by the executioner's damage over time increased by 2 for 2% for every 10%. For every minus 10 armor penalty suffered by the target from enemy source. Damage over time effects inflicted also penalty. Whenever an enemy suffers from a damage over time effect, dodges the executioner, and all damage over time currently inflicted now deal 10% more. Okay, fuck that. We're going with flame weapons. We're just going with a solid flame weapon. Rest of them are going to be fairly easy. While Vanguard has at least one ally. On the feet, next attack made by Protective Word, all allies. Whenever an attack is made by an ally hits the Vanguard for the first time in the round, does no damage. Okay, that's... yeah, I think that's good, honestly. Okay, Agatha, what do we have for you? You are going... medicine? Jay has 80, Pascal has 75, Lord of Imperium, Jay has 38. Awareness, Octavia has fuckton, demolition. So I think we're going medicine with you, honestly. That's just going to help you heal. When entering, Arch gains until the end of combat. Weapon skill, a ballistic skill. Bonus, critical. Arch militant target have their armor reduced by effects applied. Fuck's sake. Close quarters training. Arch militant can use ranged weapons within melee range, but yeah, that's just solid. What do we have for Pascal here? Manipulators. Mechadendrites. Close combat, pushing an enemy 2 cells away. Yes. Exposing communication. Gain the ability bonus against enemies. Close up, melee, apply machine spirit communication. Scan a Mechadendrite plus 10 perception. Perception. You have barely any perception though, Pascal. Really, barely any. Crossfire zone, frontline, increased dodge against. Rear also make allies lower in priority. That sounds good. Fellowship? No. Weapon skill, ballistic skill. Ballistic skill. Yep. Oh, and you. Bloody mess. Anytime a Wormborn Encounter scores a critical hit, there's a 10% chance of... okay, yeah, that's... yeah. While Voidborn has more than 50% wound... no. Voidborn character has a 20% chance to survive a lethal, surviving with 1 wound. So using a non-damaging ability on an ally grants... no, we're going with Bloody Mess. Assassin's attacks on enemy at full... okay, don't care about that. Aim for an opening on the same target, reduces the dodge stack. Each turn, the first assassin's ability costs 0. Disarray. Every 10 damage, assassin attack. Also 1 direct damage. Cannot be reduced by the parameters or bonuses. Okay. And you are going for every hit scored on an enemy. All enemies hit by the tactical have a higher chance of hitting cover. scored by the mouse steering grant momentum equal to 3 times per turn. After heroic axe is used for the first time, mouse tactician's next is reduced to 0. Okay, yep. Every enemy killed by the mouse tactician increase per soul by 1. Yeah. Okay. That is our team finished.
Curiosity
Leveled up
sings
again.
in my veins.
We can now equip a fire weapon on you. Here's the kicker. That's the best flame weapon we have is on her currently. And we kind of don't want to take that away from her. So... We're fine right now. We're fine right now.
In this tapestry of a world, I
My
am
idea
the
to actually have maybe try to find a heavy flamer on and put it on that Agatha. That would be cool, wouldn't it? I think that would be really cool. I don't know if there is heavy flamers though. I'm kind of happy where we are with our kind of setup right now anyway. Because we are coming to the point where we can actually just heal all damage dealt immensely good. If they're not one-shotting us, that is. That is Von Valentius Palace Administratum. We're going to the palace. This is one of those that actually is really interesting because all of the characters are going to be here even if we don't take them with us. There's another few things we need to deal with. Long live the rogue trader.
The Emperor protects. Welcome home, your ladyship.
The stately woman in a long full dress uniform makes a graceful curtsy. Her short, graying hair does not obscure her stern features.
I am Clementia Versirian, Court Chancellor of the von Valancius dynasty. On behalf of all of Dargonus, please accept my deepest condolences on the untimely passing of Theodora von Valancius. Her departure is a terrible blow to us all. But as one star expires, another always flares to life. And, although still overcome with bitterness and grief, your subjects hope that you will become the trade dynasty's guiding light in these trying times.
Clementia.
Abelard offers a reserved nod. She nods in return, and the lines on his brow soften ever so slightly. The young man quickly brings a respirator to his burnt face and bows his head courteously. His raven black hair veils his burns and skull implants, and his thin metal fingers creak quietly as he offers a welcoming gesture.
Achilles Scalander, Secretary at the Administratum Department. I hope your journey to Dargonus was not darkened by unwanted troubles?
It was terrible. I did not realize What? We had some incidents, but those are irrelevant at this moment.
Quite right, your ladyship. What happened cannot be changed, but you still have great deeds ahead of you. So let us look to the future with hope in our hearts.
Does your ladyship wish to survey the grounds? Or perhaps we could sate your curiosity by answering any questions you might have. Governor Urbent Drivestem has been notified of your arrival on Dargonis and will visit the palace shortly. The preparations for the official visit are well in hand, but your ladyship still has plenty of time before the meeting.
Why isn't the governor here to greet me? Here with you to greet me?
Apologies, your ladyship. Governor Drivestem's residence is on the other side of the world, by the Administratum Palace of Dargonis. We sent word as soon as you entered the system. But it takes time to travel the great distances of your domain.
Chancellor Viserion appears unruffled, but you cannot shake the thought that the governor's lateness is a subtle political gesture designed to test the limits of what is acceptable when it comes to interacting with the new rogue trader.
Hold on a moment. Clementine? What did you say your last name was?
Clementia nods politely.
You heard correctly, your ladyship. I am of House Viserion, Lord Abelard's granddaughter and direct descendant.
The succession of service is an effective good. It grants new generations understanding of their function within the mechanism.
Yep.
Chancellor Viserion has held her position at the von Valancius court for many years. She earned Lord Captain Theodora's respect through acts of great perseverance. There's no room for doubt, blood had nothing to do with it.
The emperors bless those who strengthen the humanity's domain through their deeds. You have reason to be proud of your progeny.
Abelard looks at you in surprise, but then immediately puts on an air of indifference.
Thank you, Lord Captain.
I would like to rest before the meeting. Where are my chambers?
They are very close, just down the hall. That is also where the study and the audience chamber are.
Achilles' face brightens with a pearly white smile, restoring some of his former good looks.
Lady Theodora's study has remained locked since her last departure, but, on account of your arrival, we've arranged for it to be tidied up. It is ready whenever you may need it.
You are dismissed.
I apologize for my bluntness, but I have a request to make. Perhaps, before the meeting takes place, the illustrious Lord Captain could spare a few minutes for a conversation with me.
Achilles bows his head.
I'm certain that you will find my report on the state of affairs in the von Valancius Protectorate most useful.
Yep. What is it going to be? Or is it going... Okay, yep. It's going to have us here.
Oh, what is that?
Glinting in the light, the coin falls into the clear water and sinks to the bottom.
Let the plundering begin! No, collect all the goods around here.
Unlocked.
Okay, what do we have? Nothing more, nothing more. Do we have any... This is the home planet.
Such
right?
illustrious society. Such well-heeled nobles. Indeed, it would be worth visiting Dargonis even without getting to know you, Shireen. This world offers huge scope for doing business.
Okay, we are... kind of explored everything here. We can explore a bit more out there, but let's head into... head in here first. And see what happens. What happens. Welcome, you legend. Let me inform your location chambers. Dynastic estate. The main throne room is upstairs, straight ahead. Your subject, Achilles Schlander, informed me Will humbly await the opportunity to meet you there. Okay.
A tantalizing anomaly.
Okay. Whenever the wearers move through a cell occupied by an enemy, the wearer gains 15 dodge until the next turn. Okay, that's really good.
There is a faint mark on the polished mantelpiece, which was likely left by a glass. This antique piece of furniture is obviously well cared for, but its surface is still covered with a lot of scuffs, scratches, and stains, traces of the previous rogue traders who sat at this table.
Yeah, the view is kind of epic. A true hive city, pretty much. And we are on the top level of it. So, yeah. We're probably around like 400 meters up in the air.
Unlocked.
Oh, we got ourselves a Malta. Largest type of mount were usually employed by Adeptus Astartes or mounted upon Imperial vehicles.
The bed for the head of the rogue trader dynasty is befitting the status of its owner.
This is one of the things that bothers me the most. We have something in here. I know that for a fact. Okay. What is that? But I don't have enough awareness to actually catch it, very much.
Unlocked.
Okay. What do we have here? Can I actually leave here? Oh, I can open the door here. Okay. Void ship, void ship bridge, return to ship, void ship bridge. Okay, so we actually have the... That wasn't in the game before.
Greetings to you, your ladyship.
Aristocrat. Do we have any named characters here? We have Cassia, Servitor, Tech Priest. Pascal here. We have Idra.
The lack of observers on this world has led your nobles to become extremely complacent. Today alone, I overheard 3 statements that, if I so wanted, could be turned into grounds for a charge of heresy.
Yeah, I am not surprised by that fact. We got a new pair of shoes, but we didn't really get anything. We got a new weapon. That was the multi-melta. It is something to consider. Oh, you don't have Malta proficiency. Should we actually put this on Skull, that's a good question. Because he has bonuses to multi-weapons. So that is a fair question to ask ourselves if we actually should put it on him.
The slender figure, clad in robes made from expensive fabric, shudders from violent coughing. Pressing a gilded respirator to his face, the man takes several deep breaths.
Achilles, it's been many moons. I hope your cousin is feeling well.
Achilles covers his burnt lips, trying and failing to suppress a coughing fit.
She is in good health. She sends her regards to you, as well as her wishes for your swift return.
Heinrichs frowns.
For as long as the stars shine in the sky, my vigil continues. So it does.
Achilles thumps himself on the chest with his augmented hand. You hear the clanging of metal against metal.
I'm not so foolish as to fail to notice conversation in code.
Your insight deserves credit, rogue traitor. Then again, I expected nothing less from Theodora von Valancius's successor.
Heinrichs looks at Achilles.
Allow me to introduce Achilles Scalander properly. In addition to his duties as Secretary of the Administratum, he acts as an agent of the Golden Throne under my aegis. Master Scalander was transferred into my remit by a colleague who is engaged in other matters in the Coronis Expanse. I'm sure you will find Achilles' service useful, especially when dealing with the schemes of humanity's foes within the borders of your protectorate. Greetings, Lady Octavia the Fire Axe von Valancius. Allow me once again to express my deepest condolences on the loss of Lady Theodora. I will do everything I can to track down and destroy all of Kunrad Voigtver's accomplices on the capital world.
You know anything...
1. Do you know anything about what has become of Kunrad Voigtver? The former Master of Whispers is a heretic and a traitor to the dynasty.
Achilles nods grimly.
Word of his treason reached Dargonis too late. Kunrad came to the planet and left it almost immediately, once he had sown discord in the minds of the gullible and naive. The worst of the rumors he started was that you were the one responsible for Lady Theodora's sudden demise. Of course, your loyal subjects did their best to skin alive any who showed signs of doubt. But it seems unlikely that the Wardens got to everyone who has allowed doubt into their heart and now nurtures it in secret.
You promised me on the... Huh?
1. You promised me a report on the present state of affairs in the Protectorate.
I have already forwarded all official reports to your seneschal. As for the conversation we're having right now, I wouldn't trust any paper or data slate with its contents. You see, Lady Theodora, may the Emperor have mercy on her soul, was perfectly aware of Dargonis's political environment. You, however, have only just arrived on the capital world, and I thought it would be best to bring you up to speed. Frankly, the nobles of Dargonis, much like nobles on most worlds, are akin to spiders in a jar, ready to pounce on whoever is the weakest, or whomever they deem to be the weakest. The nobles of Dargonis are well-respected, rich, and powerful individuals who held Lady Theodora's favor for many years and found ways to rise above the rest by diligently serving the rogue traitor. Every family pursues its own selfish interests, and each one expects that with the transition of power, they will retain and even add to their lands and wealth. The families I would recommend giving particular attention to are the Drive Stems, the Gapruks, and the Sourbacks. I should also mention the Worsrians, not a noble house per se, but a family that was part of Lady Theodora's inner circle, to the Blue Bloods' great displeasure. The Drive Stems are the ancient governor house of Dargonis. Predictably, the greater the wealth of the von Valancius Protectorate, the fuller their coffers grow. Their reputation is flawless except for one detail: we have evidence that Urbent Drive Stems rivals seem to have the misfortune of regularly falling victim to Xeno's raids. I find that these attacks are always a little too advantageous for the Drive Stems, but we lack solid proof, and it might never surface. The closer an official is to a rogue traitor, the braver and safer they feel. I would just like to remind everyone that rubbing shoulders with Xenos is a heresy that can be overlooked only in the case of the von Valancius heir, not her servant.
Yep. I got the warrant of trade. It's stupid, but it's the thing that protects me, I guess. What makes the Gaprak special?
The Gapruks hail from a remote Forge world, and among their distant relatives, there are many servants of the Omnissiah, and the house itself is close to the cult of the Adeptus Mechanicus, both in spirit and in their business connections. The Gapruks oversaw the industrial shipments within your protectorate, until recently. Ever since the astropathic communication with Kieva Gamma was severed, they've been quite concerned about the security of the planet placed in their care.
What can you tell me about House Sourback?
Religious and hard-working, the Sauerbachs own many enterprises, including distillation manufactorums that produce promethium. I must note that lately members of the Sauerbach family have been prone to overly liberal statements about the von Valancius dynasty. They believe that Lady Theodora is a bit too keen to leave her worlds without proper oversight.
I would like to know more about the Varasians.
The Wursrians are a line founded by Lady Theodora's seneschal and as such are nominally considered nobility, at least from the standpoint of the Imperial Navy, from which Lord Abelard hails. On Dargonus, however, their position is precarious. Firstly, they never were granted an official title, a process which has been impeded for decades by the old houses of Dargonus, and secondly, the other families do not see them as equals, but more as upstarts clinging to the rogue trader's favor. The Wursrians are responsible for the capital world's fleet and the majority of the cargo shipments on domestic routes.
Esther Hill. What?
1. After hearing all that, I now feel the urge to have every one of those sycophants executed at once.
Achilles shrugs.
You are, naturally, well within your right, rogue trader. But remember that this will cause the multi-layered bureaucratic system of Dargonus, of your entire protectorate, in fact, to come apart at the seams. And that's not even considering the likelihood of attempted reprisals from their families and allies. I would hold off on the death sentences. Act with restraint and wisdom, present for all to see sufficient proof of the unwanted house's guilt. Do not mistake me, mass executions are one way to solve your problems, but in that case, you should weigh up every possible scenario before you act.
Enough about the nobles. Was there anything else you wanted to report?
There was, your ladyship. And this time, it concerns the main reason for my presence on this planet, Xenos and the threat they pose both to you and to humanity as a whole.
Okay.
The last few months have been difficult for the people who report to me, my eyes and ears scattered throughout the Coronis expanse. Warp disturbances, astropaths overcome with madness, ships disappearing in the immaterium. Many of my observers and contacts have gone dark or have been killed by some calamity or other. Still, I managed to establish communication with some key individuals who were able to warn me about incoming threats, including Xenos raids.
Achilles looks you in the eye without blinking.
It is within my power to supply you with intelligence on where and when the Xenos will strike next. I do not doubt that Governor Drivestem will beg you for protection against the Xenos, and in this fight, the information from my contacts will serve you well. I beseech you, Octavia the Fire Axe, if I ever report a threat looming over a ship or a planet, do not dismiss it. Sometimes it takes an intervention from the rogue trader and her mighty void ship to avert a disaster.
Tell me about what are your responsibilities on Dragonus?
Officially, I'm a secretary at this world's administrative department. Less officially, I'm afraid I can't disclose that even to you. In short, I collect and investigate reports of heresy taking root on upstanding planets of humanity. Above all else, I am concerned about the Xenos threat that hangs over the entire Coronis expanse, including your protectorate. Sadly, my mission was complicated by the recent warp disturbances. I am still trying to re-establish contact with many of my agents.
Tell me about the Xenos.
The residents of the local systems are no strangers to skirmishes with enemies of humanity. But recently the loathsome beasts seem to have completely flown off the handle. We're receiving reports from ships that made it through the warp to Dargonus. Both they and the colonies that they departed from are being attacked. We have identified the breed of Xenos that pose this threat, the Drukhari, humanity's ancient and insidious foes. Be vigilant on your travels. The Xenos will undoubtedly attack a rogue trader's ship should they find the circumstances to be in their favor. Unfortunately, in the host of humanity there are those who are willing to grovel before our enemies in the hopes of a valuable reward. You may be interested to know that we are on the trail of such heretics.
Achilles glances at a data slate.
Overwhelming evidence indicates that a plundered void station in Langgren's belt is being used as a base by a band of pirates who are not above dealing with Xenos. I was unable to persuade the Chancellor of the need to dispatch a ship there, but perhaps you would like to pay a courtesy call to these scoundrels yourself?
Langgren's belt, okay. Do you know anything about the cult of the Final Dawn?
My knowledge is deplorably limited, your ladyship. All my attention has been focused on tracking Xenos activity. I'm certain that Master Van Calix can tell you much more about those heretics than I.
About your work, unofficial work.
Achilles' amber eyes flash with interest.
Yes?
Dragonus has no need for spies. Whom do you truly serve, rogue trader or the interrogator? Interrogator of the Inquisition.
And whom does the rogue trader serve? The Golden Throne? The Protectorate? Could it be that one stems from the other? And if so, is there any sense in discussing it?
Achilles bows and brings the respirator to his burned lips.
I sincerely hope that I can answer every one of them.
The scars on your face, what happened?
About
He coughs.
5 years ago, there was an accident. Several tanks of promethium exploded in the storehouse at my estate, and I was buried alive under the rubble. The Emperor preserved my soul, and the skilled physicians of Dargonis saved my body, except for my lungs, with which I had to part. I presume the incident was an attempt on my life, but the identity of whoever was behind it remains a mystery.
Achilles bores.
According to the message I received a few minutes ago, Governor Drivestem has arrived at court. I imagine that the Chancellor is already prepared to arrange the meeting. All that's left is to notify her that you are ready to see Urbend.
Okay, so we have talked to everyone.
The bed for the head of the rogue trader dynasty is befitting the status of its owner.
I'm so annoyed by the fact that I can't find where that thing is to get in that room. I don't know what it is I need to do it either, which is even more annoying. Already have something, so I have 110 perception. I want to boost that even higher, but I don't know how to actually boost that even higher. Grants bonus to perception, but -5. Why can't I equip that? Bullshit. Bullshit. I don't have anything more that actually will boost my awareness, do I? No. Whenever their warrior kills, they receive 5 stacking until the end of combat. That's a solid one, I guess. That's a really solid one. 10 plus willpower. Fellowship. If I'm dogmatic, it gives me more intelligence. Maximum wound. Each round regenerates 2. Okay. Nothing that actually increased the awareness I have. I don't have any stims that do that either, I think. Ballistic. Minus in perception. Grant immunity to warp damage. Grants immunity to toxic. Resolve. Okay. Temporary wounds. Grenades, grenades, grenades.
The cogitator is producing rhythmic sounds, among which a faint ringing stands out.
Oh, what curiosity!
Okay, what do we have here?
Unveils itself before
More
me.
resources. Okay.
The leather covers bear the names of the authors, mostly philosophers and theologians from Dargonis. The spines of the books are trimmed with gold.
Infernal pistol. Blast rifle. What do we have over here then? I presume this is actually going to be maybe unlocked because, for example, that's... Okay, let's just continue on with the main objective. Let's talk to Clementine.
Your ladyship?
Clementia bows her head politely. For a chancellor to a rogue trader, she is dressed rather simply, a parade doublet, polished boots, and a comfortable cloak. She bears a saber in a gilded scabbard, whether for show or protection, one could not say. Only her ring with the Viserion coat of arms indicates that she is of the highest social stratum.
The governor is waiting on the periphery of the palace. Please let me know when you would like to see him.
The sharp gaze, the impeccable straight back, the composure. For a moment, you feel like you're looking at a younger version of Abelard himself, not his heir. Judging by the scars on the exposed parts of her body, Clementia saw her fair share of combat prior to assuming the position of Chancellor.
Achilles Shalander, does he cause any problems?
Why, none at all, your ladyship. Secretary Scalander is an outstanding individual and a loyal servant of the von Valancius dynasty. In Lady Theodora's absence, we collaborated on a number of issues related to the well-being of your domain, and he has proven himself quite capable. And, I don't know why, but even the governor trembles before Achilles. Which is unusual for a man of his, shall we say, standing.
The last word brings a slight smile to her lips.
What are your responsibilities as Chancellor?
To put it simply, I am your trade representative. Any and all decrees, deals, official communication, and meetings are first reviewed by me and then forwarded to you and from you down the hierarchy. My purview also includes overseeing your ladyship's property, the palace, the estates, the many gardens, and other demesnes on Dargonus that you have inherited from Lady Theodora. And whenever you are present on Dargonus, consider me your personal secretary.
What can you tell me about Dragonus?
All deals and important decisions are made here in the capital. Many years ago, an ancestor of Lady Theodora signed an agreement with the Adeptus Administratum which allowed for efficient management of the world and the neighboring systems. In accordance with the decree, a share of the planet's population was assigned to the Administratum and converted into servitor scribes. They now toil across the entire world. Dargonus is also the seat of several noble families who run all the major planets in the Protectorate. If I may express my not so humble opinion, they care very little about who exactly stands at the helm. Those piranhas think about their own profits just as much as they do about the prosperity of the Protectorate itself, if not more. And lastly, Dargonus has its own fleet, a luxury unavailable to the vast majority of other worlds in your realm. In addition to warships, the Protectorate also employs privateer ships which are used to transport cargo between worlds.
Does the capital stay in contact with the other worlds in the Protectorate?
Unfortunately, not at this time, your ladyship. After the few representatives of the Adeptus Astra Telepathica on Dargonus went into a frenzy, some of the Psychers were tragically pacified by the respective authorities. Since then, communication with the neighboring systems has been unreliable at best. Thanks be to the Master of Mankind that you managed to find your way to the capital.
If the noble houses are so volatile, what's the sense in keeping them?
Over the many centuries, an intricate hierarchy has formed within the ruling elite of Dargonus. The great houses do more than plunder your treasury, it is replenished, to a large degree, thanks to their administrative work and their lands. Naturally, you can get rid of anyone whom you consider surplus to requirements, but right now, it could threaten the fragile stability that is currently holding the Protectorate together.
Are there any issues I should be aware of?
Apart from the disrupted communications, Dargonus was recently raided by enemies of humanity. However, the fleet, under the command of Captain Martius Versirian, triumphed over the accursed Xenos. If you ask for my opinion on this matter, we have the situation completely under control.
You catch her avoiding your gaze for just a moment, for the first time. It's obvious that Clementia is looking out for her house's good name. But despite the confidence in her tone, you can tell that she does not entirely believe her own words.
Tell me about Governor Drivestem.
Urbent Drivestem is a well-respected man, and not just on Dargonus but throughout the Protectorate. For many centuries, his house has supported the capital's administration and the logistics between the von Valancius systems. The Drivestem's efforts secured years of order and prosperity for Dargonus. What's more, Lady Theodora personally insisted that Lord Urbent specifically be made the next governor.
Thank you for your report.
I serve the von Valancius Protectorate, your ladyship.
Tell them I'm ready to see the governor.
Clementia bows before leaving.
I shall arrange for him to be escorted to your study.
Octavia the Fire Axe von Valancius, 20th in her line, rogue trader, keeper of the Sacred Warrant, and ruler of the Coronis expands from the Cranich system to the 100 Dreams Crossroads, I bid you welcome. Urbent Drivestem, governor of this great world. First and foremost, please accept my deepest condolences. It will be difficult to recover from the loss of a woman as great as Theodora von Valancius. It pains me to think that she is no longer with us. The citizens of Dargonus and of the entire Protectorate grieve alongside you. Please allow us to declare half a year of mourning so that we can honor the memory of our beloved lady.
The governor glances at Kibella anxiously, then immediately averts his gaze. Then he looks at her again, but when Kibella lets out a grim chuckle and stretches her lips daubed in fresh blood into a petrifying grin, the governor turns away from her sharply, all but squealing in fear.
For those who don't know, Kybella is part of pretty much a cult that murder and bloodshed for the Emperor. Theodora von Malaysia to say more than that. I would declare a full year yearning. There is no need. I'm the new ruler of the Protector. Let my subject rejoice at my arrival instead. Yeah.
The bewilderment causes the wrinkles on Drivestam's glossy face to soften.
Your ladyship, these are centuries-old traditions, sacred customs, and rules. Do not forget who it is you serve, Urbent Drivestem. If it is the rogue trader's wish not to have a mourning ceremony,
Abelard's voice grates unpleasantly.
then so be it. Perhaps the parvenu installed by Lady Theodora cares not for the sacred traditions of our founding ancestors.
The governor gives a meaningful nod in Abelard's direction.
But Octavia the Fire Axe von Valancius is a descendant of the true children of Dargonus. It behoves the ruler of a world to honor its customs.
Come now, Urbent.
1. Come now, Urbent. I am as much of a parvenu as Abelard. 2. I do honor traditions, Governor. Later, when things in the Protectorate settle down, we will declare a mourning period.
Yeah.
As you will, your ladyship.
Drivestam bows his head.
Esteemed Octavia the Fire Axe, Lady Theodora was a strong leader, and we ought to follow her example. Let us lean on our wisdom and persevere in spite of this tragedy. Together. And let us carry on where she no longer can by leading the von Valancius Protectorate to even greater prosperity. Alas, it won't be an easy task to accomplish. Some time ago, the astropaths of Dargonus flew into a rage, and they had to be subdued. We are gradually restoring our ability to speak with neighboring worlds, but the contacts are still weak, and the routes are tangled and no longer lead to the systems that the captains expect them to. Given that the vast majority of ships in the Dargonus Navy travel without relying on the services of navigators, without your engagement, the well-being of the von Valancius dynasty and billions of its subjects is presently at risk.
We met a ship from Dragonus not too long ago. The crew was transporting a strange artifact and went mad during the flight.
This is a truly regrettable bit of news. What's more, leaving Dargonus has been forbidden for several cycles now. It seems the Verserian family has once again failed in their primary responsibilities.
He shoots Abelard a condescending look.
We will investigate this at once. As well as the fact that the ship had to acquire a permit with the Administratum seal. Does your nephew still serve at the Administratum Palace?
The governor presses a number of buttons on the cogitator built into his bracer and looks up at you in surprise.
I don't understand. The ship did indeed depart from orbit, but it did so, if you can believe it, on the rogue trader's authorization. That is why no one dared to impede its departure. Lord Captain, it would seem that Coonrad somehow got his hands on a copy of your authorization, or perhaps even the original. A tool like that in the hands of a traitor does not bode well.
1. Coonrad Voigt Ver, former Master of Whispers, is a heretic and a traitor. Has he shown his face on Dargonus?
The governor pensively strokes the rings glittering on his fingers.
Lord Voigt Ver visited the capital some time ago, but he did not request a personal meeting. A heretic, you say? Now I see where all the whispering in the corridors has come from.
Can I actually see him? I can't see him any better now.
I shall be frank with you, your ladyship. Lady Theodora's sudden death was a blow to every one of us, and the absence of any sort of verifiable and complete information about her successor gives grounds for all manner of rumors and misinterpretations, especially if someone is deliberately inciting unrest and discontent. Naturally, none would dare challenge you by accusing you of something as sacrilegious as murdering a rogue traitor. However, Coonrad Voigt Ver was once a true boon to the Protectorate back in the day, and as such, some might heed his words.
3. Heretical, publicly rip out the vocal cords and tongues of every slanderer and replace them with vox implants that sing the praises of rogue traitor Octavia the Fire Axe von Valancius without interruption. I should think that will serve as a reminder of who rules this world.
I shall immediately make all the arrangements so that your order can be carried out properly.
Drivestam bows.
Who exactly do Dragon's nobility expect? What exactly do the Dragon's nobility expect from me in the light of the loss of the routes of communications of this world?
We are all troubled by the fate of the agri-world Janus that supplied Dargonus and other planets with foodstuffs. Empty stomachs can drive even the mildest rabble to revolt. Furthermore, House Gapric is perturbed by the loss of communication with the industrial world Kiavagama, which is in their charge. But if you wish to know my opinion, the world that deserves your attention the most is the penal world Veebos 6, one of the key mining suppliers in your protectorate.
Such intriguing concern for Veebos 6 outpost. Doesn't your house happen to own the extracting station there?
Drivestam's beady eyes widen in fear.
Your ladyship. I beg of you, do not interpret my words as an attempt to influence your decisions in any way. You see, without Veebos 6, the manufacturers on your worlds will need to make haste to find new suppliers elsewhere and arrange for new shipments, and in these troubling times, they run the risk of delays and other most tragic mishaps. My only concern is for the prosperity of the von Valancius dynasty.
I've already visited the agri-world Janus government and found herself facing a number of problems in my absence.
Truly? The Viet line is one of the oldest in the von Valancius protectorate. If the inheritor of such well-respected blood could not handle whatever had befallen her, then the situation must have been extraordinary indeed.
You could say that. Still, her worries are behind her now, and Viserion continues to govern the agri-world.
I am delighted to hear it. Many on Dargonus live in hope that food deliveries to the capital will resume soon.
That does it for the planet and trade routes Wassals.
Xenos, your ladyship. I don't rightly know where to begin.
He rubs the bridge of his nose wearily.
Otherworldly beasts are not an uncommon sight in the Coronis expanse. They have been a menace to the worlds this side of the Maw for decades. But now those abominations are on the rampage. They show no signs of fear as they attack ships, either damaging them to the point where they become unfit for transport duty or outright gutting them. Only you have the power to stop this madness. We are in the process of restoring the astropathic choir of Dargonus. Luckily, we were forced to slay only some of the deranged psychers, although those that remain are as yet unable to transmit messages. I hope Master Scalander will keep his word and offer you his support in the war against the Xenos. According to his reports, the region of Veebos 6 has been of particular concern in the last few cycles, which is all the more reason to discover the colony's fate as soon as possible. Now, to issues on a smaller scale. There is a certain degree of tension in the capital due to the unorthodox succession to the Sacred Warrant. Chances of uprisings are minimal, of course, and the spreading of rumors is nothing but a sign of weakness of mind and spirit. Nonetheless, I have prepared a list of minor houses that have demonstrated unseemly discomposure at your succession.
Command the spinners of the bloodspun web, and they will set a fine snare of retribution. Domin Octavia the Fire Axe. We will whisper names, and that whisper will drown out insolent voices.
Minor houses demonstrating unseemly disclosure at your succession. What is to be done about them? Okay, Bella entrust this burden to the bloodspun web, unravel the tangle of the plots and foil them.
It will be done, Domin Octavia the Fire Axe. Let the sacrament of the hunt commence.
A cold sweat breaks out on Drivestam's face. He forces a subservient smile on his face.
This will bring the noble houses into line for years to come, your ladyship. It will make them fear not only blasphemous words, but also their own shadows. And one last thing, your ladyship. Your inauguration as bearer of the Sacred Warrant is but a matter of time, and I would like to inquire about one crucial detail. I imagine you are intending to uphold the centuries-old tradition, bolstered by an equally long-lasting friendship, of being represented on Dargonus by one of the noble houses. I presume that, as before, this duty will be accorded to House Drivestem.
Which houses can represent me at the ceremony?
Any of the noble houses located on Dargonus. The Drivestem family, which I lead, the Gapric family, with long ties to the Adeptus Mechanicus, the Sourbacks, known for their piety and diligence in service. Perhaps I should also mention the Worsrians, who have some influence, but who are not actually of noble origin. Any one of these houses would be honored to represent you at the ceremony.
Who are we picking? I am tempted to pick the Varasians just to stir up the pot. Yeah.
Abelard turns to you and bows respectfully.
Lord Captain. To accompany you at such a critical hour is the greatest honor for the Verserian bloodline. Have no fear, we will not fail you.
Drivestem tosses Abelard a look that lacks even the smallest shred of respect.
Forgive my boldness, but I must remind you that the Wersrians, whose lineage traces back to a navy officer, are not of the Dargonis nobility. Such decisions may have adverse effects on your subjects' loyalty, your ladyship.
Drivestem's face breaks into a bitter smile.
I shall immediately relay your commands, most gracious rogue trader. Thank you for your time.
I would like to complete the inauguration as soon as... When is the ceremony? Tell me more about yourself and House Drivestem.
It would be my pleasure to enlighten you. My house is the oldest and most respected on Dargonis. My ancestors walked side by side with yours for many generations as they cared for this world's welfare. Our duty is to supervise the governing bodies within the systems subservient to you, and we are responsible for the Protectorate's logistics and economic stability. As for me personally, I am a humble servant of the Emperor and a loyal subject of the rogue trader. And, to my great pleasure, I had the honor of calling myself Lady Theodora's close friend.
At Urban's last words, Abelard lets out a sound that could be interpreted as either a snort or a cough. Urban gives him a look, which Abelard meets with an expression of utter nonchalance.
I would like to complete in... when is Rogue Trader as soon as possible? When is the ceremony?
I'm afraid that, until you deal with pressing issues, the ceremony will have to be postponed. Many trade routes are still unavailable, the central worlds of the von Valancius Protectorate are going through a crisis, and the warp disturbances, if void observers are to be believed, will prevent important guests from reaching the capital.
That will be
Thank
all I
you for
take
your
it.
time, your ladyship. Since duty calls, I shall take my leave. May the Emperor's grace be with you.
Oh, I'm going to... You can see in here. That's why it's so annoying that I can't actually get in there.
The bed for the head of a rogue trader dynasty is befitting the status of its owner.
Your ladyship?
Clementia looks away from her data slate.
I hope your stay on Dargonis will be beneficial. I am at your service at any time, day or night, your ladyship.
Can we look at cargo? Oh, come on. Door open. Return to the ship. We now have hit up Dragonus.
Terrible news from Dargonis, Lord Captain. The subsidiary Hive City, Scipion 84-249, has been destroyed in a series of cascading failures. Production has halted, and millions of people have broken their vows of obedience and are fleeing. Many of them are perishing in the wastelands and overloading the transport lines leading to neighboring hives. The surrounding residential sectors are becoming increasingly agitated by the influx of refugees. What is your directive regarding the distribution of these refugees?
Signal the hives, open the gates. What is the cause of the catastrophe?
It is still unclear. The noble houses are throwing the blame at one another. Agents of the venerable Achilles Scalander, stationed on Scipion 84-249, died heroically while trying to save the population from this disaster. Their final reports mentioned some vulnerabilities in the industrial sectors of the lower hive but did not go into further detail. Additionally, all of your servants are currently busy with investigating the causes of the crisis but are not doing anything to deal with its consequences.
What say my advisors?
The death of Achilles' agents troubles me. It may not be a coincidence. Until the causes of the disaster can be concretely established, I would avoid letting refugees into other hives. There may be saboteurs among them. I recommend setting up prohibitive cordons, where the refugees can be contained in the wastelands between the hives.
Okay, yeah.
The Emperor bids us to face the often cruel strokes of fate with dignity. If the other hives do not wish to accept the unfortunate victims of this tragedy, then let the victims themselves teach those living in the hives a lesson in resilience and humility. I'm sure that the ecclesiarchy will aid the refugees in constructing camps to survive out in the wastelands and establish a community of proud desert-dwelling martyrs. Such harsh conditions will be a crucible of fortitude and fearlessness, this tragedy a feat of spirit. The noble houses are trying to wash their hands of this. How predictable. And yet, it is their duty to see to it that the planet meets its tithe obligation and brings glory and revenue to the treasury in your absence. Let the aristocrats take care of the refugees, and make sure they don't stop until every last refugee has some task to fulfill.
I think we're going with Argentas. Yeah.
He who dares to remain deaf to the pleas of the destitute shall be branded a traitor to the faith. Large labor settlements were set up around the ruins of Scipion 84 to 249, to where the refugees from the wastelands and neighboring hives have been rounded up. In the harsh wastelands scorched with industrial poison, with only a bare modicum of food and clean water, the settlement residents began the arduous and dangerous task of rebuilding their fallen home. Many of the ecclesiarchy's priests sought to share in this burden with the poor souls, coming to their villages and preaching to them about the righteousness of hard work. Some pastors have even chosen to stay in the camps permanently, where the desert cults of Aconite martyrs have begun to gather around them, glorifying the Lord Captain for granting them the right to suffer for the glory of the God Emperor.
Okay, throne room, palace, administratum. Okay, so here we have the first one. This will increase security, reduce the profit, but we're going to have increase in population. Rogue trader gains 5+ bonus to all her skill, plus profit factor, plus complacency. Root cost? What do you mean root cost?
Root cost.
Security. Lose security, gain profit factor, gain chemicals, gain weapons, gain mechanisms, gain efficiency. Honestly, this is the thing that is really tempting to me. Because that means we gain more nobility of perfection. Yeah. Ecclesiarchy for nobility. Emporium. Spine to rebuild into a space elevator. Can be capped by Emporium accepting those ships with heavy loads from the surface. I think we're going this one. Plus people. Requires 3 people. Minus complacency, more efficiency. Gain more food. Fellowship of the Void, we can do this. Gives us weapon, profit factor, more reputation with Fellowship of the Void. And also, broadside macro cannon. It is a 3-shotter, 24 damage per shot, but it's a medium range. Ashen. C-Note. We're missing C-Note tech, huh? Plus 15 Heretical. Okay, yeah. Requires Heretical. If the user suffers bleeding, 6. As long as the user is bleeding, they gain 100% critical damage. That's a lot. I went with this one last time. Escort chip. That is really good. We also... Okay, so we can get a Fellowship of the Void as well with an escort chip. more xenotech, more adamantium. Another one is in progress. I want to do this one as fast as possible, honestly. Mark frag. All allies gain damage. Okay, so this requires shield or filth. Okay, so guilds require either one of them. This one shield of the Emperor, and then this one filth of the Emperor. I am thinking I'm going in hard on Fellowship of the Void in this. Honestly. Former lasers, planets, and stratum. Okay. So we are continuing north right now, or we're continuing northward in the system. It's weird to say it when it's actually in a three-dimensional space, weirdly enough.
During the warp journey, the augurs discovered a strange object that had been following the rogue trader's void ship for several hours. Judging by the distorted telemetry, it was a strangely shaped vessel of Xeno origin. The unidentified pursuer tried to approach the void ship several times, allowing the augurs to observe the shimmering energy sails unfurled among the shifting currents of the warp. The strange chase ended after the mysterious ship vanished in the depths of the Sea of Souls.
Okay. We are getting to the point where it might be a good idea to begin scan. By the way, how are we sort by type? We're actually low on more promethium. We want more promethium, pretty much. Okay, I just remember one thing. Janus. Can we actually do anything here? No, we cannot. Because we need 2800 in duration to do this. Or 20k in Kabalican. And I think we're leaning towards Kabalican. Because we don't really have a dogmatic... well, we do have Henrik. That would actually be good on him, I guess. But I feel like there's a better for us to go there. This is one where it can go either way. Onslaught. Weapon, power. Lodges. 6 people. Grants more security and also grants this. A constant influx of items. Okay.
After analyzing the augur data, the officers were surprised to discover that the planet was once covered with oceans. Long ago, an unknown cataclysm caused the seas to dry out and turned the world into a lifeless desert. The most amazing discovery of all was the skeletal remains of colossal oceanic organisms, some large enough to be seen from orbit.
Life is fragile, even creatures this enormous. Okay. Did we actually gain any more? Okay, yeah.
There are sects in the imperial cult whose adherents believe transgressors will be punished after death on burning planets. This world could serve as one such purgatory.
Okay. We are going back to Dragonus, and then we're going up to... How are we with cargo? I'm really unsure how we are with the cargo. What is here? Lost in the Void. Okay. Yellow. And then we're making a path to here.
The steady rhythm of life aboard the vessel was disrupted when, on the fourth watch of the voyage, the lower decks had their gravity reversed.
Nah.
The stunned denizens of the afflicted sectors were woken up by being torn from their assigned beds and tossed onto the ceiling. Numerous injuries and fatalities were reported. The difficulties in performing regular duties due to the gravity reversal continued until the end of the journey. After the ship exited the warp, the gravity returned to the accepted norm, an event that once again was accompanied by deaths and injuries among the crew.
Understandable. Okay. And we're visiting the system. We have cleared out a lot of humanity's enemy. We have a Hulk over here. It's a bluish planet. Weird, huh? We want that.
Charred ruins have been detected on the planet's surface. The architecture, building materials, layout, and passages betray their Xenos origin. There are currently no signs of Xeno activity on the planet and the ruins seem to be abandoned.
Run a detailed scan.
The burnt husk of an Imperial shuttle has been found in the heart of the ruins. The pilot's remains are badly damaged. It would seem the shuttle smashed into the building at full speed, causing the fire that destroyed it.
Believe. Well?
1. Sister Argenta believes the crew has found the remains of a martyr who sacrificed themselves to protect humanity from the Xenos threat. She proposes to erect a monument and hold a service in their honor. 2. Jay Hatery is impressed by the dead pilot's bravery and believes they would have been honored to have their equipment serve new generations in the fight against Xenos and heretics.
What is this? After being rammed by an enemy, ramming the prow is filled with fury. I don't want to ram ships. I don't want to ram ships, period. The Lord Captain orders the ruin and crash sign to be left alone. Nope.
Close examination reveals a few precious Archaeotech items. Unfortunately, removing them destroys the pilot's remains. White shards of bone are now scattered among the burnt-out ruins.
Okay. Already explored. Okay, great.
A vigilant member of the Augur crew has detected a small Xenos vessel drifting through the void. The ship is unpowered and shows no signs of being crewed.
Send out boarding party.
The squad boarded the vessel without issue. Corrosion has laid waste to the ship's systems, which led the Xenos Juliet claims to have recognized the symbols on the dead Aldry's clothes. They were civilian refugees from Craft World crew Darik.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. We'll repair our ship. How is our ship? 300. Okay. Hull integrity. Allows him to... Okay. Okay. We like that. That is... Increase the flagship hull integrity by 10. So that is a new slot, I think, for the DLC. Okay, we already have that. Capable of firing 4. We already have something that is better. Already have something that is better. Okay. Let us fight this. Because I want to fight this. I keep avoiding naval combat because it's one of those things where if you get everything up and working and you have a good setup, then yeah, you wreck house.
The skeins of fate can lead us to victory.
That is a lot of enemy ships.
There's a breach in our defenses.
And it's Eldari, of course, as well. Okay.
Engage the lads!
That missed.
Sail upon the seas of void.
Okay.
Let the macro cannon sing their twisted song.
Take out that one.
Initiate macro cannon barrage.
Torpedoes. Bombers.
Drown them in the void.
Okay. Okay. Bombers are OP. Okay. One of them missed. That's great.
We are exposed.
Okay.
Oh, commence the symphony of macro cannons. Engage the macro cannons. Launch the devastating payload. The destination is known.
Okay, I can't really do anything, so this is the biggest backside about actually fighting Eldari. They're screwing you over big time most of the time. Okay. Okay. So we can actually rely on those to take out torpedoes. That would be great.
Our future
Ah,
is bleak.
fuck. 80 damage? 80 damage? Okay, how long is the save? Is it in when we actually enter the system? Could fully well be. That sucks. Come on, load. Thank you. Okay, no, it's here.
We've lost the shield. Let us not lose our zeal.
You critted, you son of a bitch. Okay, we are going to drop these guys here.
Drown them in the void!
Drop that. And we're going to fire on you straight up.
Macro cannons sing their twisted song.
Okay, we didn't hit. Going to move up to here. Fire on you.
Fury.
Okay. Here.
Void
Okay.
Master, if you please.
We can take out the neuron torpedoes. They're going to be, or we can just actually hit that. Ouch. And I'm dead.
The void is about to tear our void ship apart.
You can see me throwing my hands up. Old game. That's in the system. We were last. One day 18. Okay, so no. I guess we need to win this one. Okay, so we need to think about this in the other way around. It's so annoying, this fighting Eldari, because they hit like trucks, but they can't take a hit, but they're so quick.
The void shield
Yeah,
falters.
void shield already down. Okay, so go forward there. Increase the range of it, and just throw macro cannon barrage over there. Then we're going to go up here, and we're going to switch to those. And can we pop that? That makes no difference at all.
Set course.
Already shot that one, huh?
Oh,
Okay.
commence the symphony of macro cannons.
Okay.
For throne's sake, we lost the shield.
Drown them in the void. Void Master, if you please.
Proceed with starting shields. Yeah. Does that actually reset the shields I have? I highly doubt that. Okay. It actually restarts them. Okay, great.
The destination is no.
Okay.
Let the macro cannon sing their twisted song.
Increase the range of this.
Engage the macro cannons.
Okay. And here we bully that ship again.
The target was well structured.
Oh, I forgot to actually add more of these guys. That Fury and
Another hit and we will be drowning in the void.
yeah. And we're drowning in the void. Fuck. We can do this. We can do this. We have gotten it. We need to produce those every single turn, pretty much. Okay, we made mistakes.
The whispers grow louder. We approach oblivion.
We need to bully this one. Bully this one with fighters.
Launch the devastating payload.
And then we go this one. Okay. We're going to move forward. For one more. Okay, increase the range of that.
Let the macro cannon sing their twisted song.
Got a hit.
Engage the lance!
Miss. And then we just book it this way. What the fuck happened? Oh, that's bullshit. Was it because we ran over the interceptors? What? We made interceptors. I'm pretty sure we made interceptors. Okay.
Our shields fail us.
Yep. Okay, so we make interceptors.
Commence torpedo launch!
Move forward here. Increase the range.
Initiate macro cannon barrage!
We have the last. We can hit that on you. Don't think it's going to hit, but yeah, it's good. Pop that one. And we
Void
go
Master, if you please.
back in on ourselves. And now we have a covering of ourselves, and we're sending you to bully the ship here. Hopefully only one can reach us. No, both could.
I know this tremor. Our shields are weakening.
Ouch.
Launch the devastating payload! Let the macro cannon sing their twisted song!
Oh, we got a hit. We got a hit, boys. We got a hit. We're gonna
Commence
fire that as well.
Symphony of macro cannons.
If we go here... Yeah, we need to go here.
Of course.
And we need to restart our voids. Can I... No? I need to be here? Here and I can shoot it. Where I put myself... Oh, fuck. Here, and take out that one. Ouch.
One more hit.
Ah, for
and we are
fuck's
finished.
sake. I don't think we can do this. It's getting really rough, but it might have been if we had the teleport, we might have been able to do this.
There's a breach in our defenses. Drown them in the void. Sail upon the sea
Oh,
void.
fuck's sake. Really? First move I make is the wrong one. Is a horrible move. Come on.
We're helpless under their fire.
Yeah, we're getting
Do
hit.
something.
It's taking out our shield every single time. We are moving forward here. We are then going to... pop you here.
Torpedo launch. Unleash our fury. Engage the macro cannons.
Okay.
The destination is snow.
I'm going to restart the shield straight up right now.
Double your efforts, you grog stains!
I guess we're doing 10 minutes. Because this is literally the last save we have. This is one of those things I don't really understand. One of those things I'm really kind of pissed off at is autosaving is so infrequent. Why isn't it autosaving every time you enter a new system? Like, I don't understand, like, why isn't it doing that? Why isn't it auto-saving when you enter a new system? It's auto-saving when a combat starts.
Terrible news from Darganus, Lord Captain.
Okay.
It is still unclear. The death of Achilles, the Emperor, the noble houses are tried.
Argenta, yes.
Large labor settlement. Many of the ecclesiarch's priests sought to share in this burden with the poor souls, coming to their villages and preaching to them about the righteousness of hard work. Some pastors have even chosen to stay in the camps permanently, where the desert cults of Aconite martyrs have.
Okay. I did the armor check and like check the equipment and stuff like that, but
During the warp journey, the augurs discovered a strange object that had been following the rogue trader's void ship for.
okay. We are just going to speedrun this a bit now then. Can't really speedrun it faster than the ship. Scan. Bum, bum, bum.
After analyzing the augur data, the officers were surprised to discover that the planet was once covered with oceans. Long ago, an unknown cataclysm caused the seas to dry out and turned the world into a lifeless desert. The most amazing discovery of all was the skeletal remains of colossal oceanic organisms, some large enough to be seen from orbit.
Okay, we have this system checked out. Bum, 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 bum. And now we are going to make a route here. Turn that to 2. Make a route here. Turn that to 2. We're going to travel.
The steady rhythm of life aboard the vessel was disrupted when, on the fourth watch of the voyage, the lower decks had their gravity reversed. The star.
And we're speedrunning this as well. And we're not instigating with those at all. We're leaving those as is right now. What? Okay, that's weird. That was just being weird. How much do we need? We need 1,300 to the next level, huh? We got Xenotech. It was from here. Okay, yeah.
Charred ruins have been detected on the planet's surface. The architecture, building materials,
Let's
layout,
just
and passages betray their Xeno's origin.
send the recon team instead. Yeah.
The burnt husk of an Imperial shuttle has been found in the heart of the ruins. The pilot's remains are badly damaged. It would seem the shuttle smashed into the building at full speed, causing the fire that destroyed it.
No, we're going with J-Hadrin here.
Close
Like last time.
examination reveals a few precious Archaeotech items. Unfortunately, removing them destroys the pilot's remains. White shards of bone are now
Toughness,
scattered among the burnt-out ruins.
Pollution damage. Okay, that's really weird.
A vigilant member of the organ.
And then we are just leaving this thing to it.
The plasma drive crew is begging for help. Thin and graceful warp creatures, laughing merrily, have caused a massacre in the drive bay. More and more people are losing their minds and joining the carnage. This lunacy has to be stopped.
Yep, we will go there and fight them ourselves. Need more resources, so where do we get the resources? Plundering from our enemies. Like the true... I was going to say true space wolves we are, but no, we're not really space wolves.
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
Okay, so we actually have lower deck rabble.
I'm listening.
Sherry.
Running binary override.
That took out a few people.
I will revel in your suffering.
Do we... Oh, we have a creature called Slaanesh. Slaanesh. Okay. Star paddle.
Request approved.
An otherworldly screech pierces your ears. Light sources grow painfully bright.
Good.
Messiah knows all. Comprehends all.
We have one enemy there. We have a couple enemies there.
A tactically sound approach.
Okay.
It will be done. One fewer target.
Up close and personal with a demonette straight up. Have a lot.
Emperor, protect me.
Give in to sensation. Don't touch me.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
As
Okay.
the Emperor commands, I act.
That's good.
I'll do it.
Now you use run and gun.
The enemies of
Up
the
here.
Emperor will be undone.
And do that. Are you burning? Why are you burning?
Doubt is for the weak.
I don't know why you're burning, but yeah.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
This way.
Lower deck rabble, lower deck rabble.
I am your blade and shield. Trust me. Come, the other side awaits. The shadows will... Killing brings me no pleasure. As honor ordains.
Just stabby in
The
the
air
back.
is filled with a putrid smell.
No. You have 3 stacks already.
Strike is a prayer.
This battlefield
Move
air
over
is good for
here.
my lungs.
Give Agatha.
As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it.
Really?
Doubt is for the...
Well, too bad for you. You're not getting anything more from me.
Don't get too cocky.
Faith shields me.
Ouch. Okay.
Through the smoke and gunfire.
A feeling of terror grips your heart.
Yeah, I know. That was probably what was going to happen, but I was hoping to get enough for.
I can handle this.
Explorers know one route. Forward.
I need a new plasma rifle for Pascal, that's for sure.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. Reduced to dust!
For now. I'm not injured. I'm enraged.
Okay,
I'll do it.
we kick you back. That didn't work. But pop that. Pop
Faith
that.
without deeds is worthless. As
Okay.
the Emperor commands. In thy light I stand, and thy light I pray.
9. Okay,
Doubt is
that
for the-
one in the back is a lot more dangerous than one in the front. Okay.
Death comes in silence.
Goodbye, my friend.
I am unsatisfied. Embrace excess. Spurn monotony.
Is a reward.
Am I getting paid for this? Don't get too cocky.
Okay, let's loot the corpses and get out of here. One more corpse. Oh, there's actually one more here as well. They only had knives? Yeah, they will lower deck and travel.
What lies?
So, I'm not really surprised by that, but yeah. It's something at least. That fucking naval battle took so long for us, and it's just like crazy.
Lord Captain, urgent report. We have received an astropathic message from Regent Aron to Orslio. The navigators are concerned about the fate of Cassia, who disappeared from Yorick V. The Regent is requesting an update on her current status, and he has also enquired about the possibility of a personal meeting to negotiate and to arrange the return of the Lady Navigator to her house. The psycho-emotional coding of the received message betrays acute concern, but it also contains something that the astropaths have failed to put into words. If you'll excuse my forthrightness, I feel it is necessary to tell House Orslio the truth. Otherwise, a conflict with the Navi's Nobilite is possible, which, given the current state of the Coronus Expanse, will only play into the hands of the enemies of the Imperium.
How did the house already even learn that I have Cassia?
I wish I knew, Lord Captain. It is troubling indeed. Perhaps we have a spy on board. or Regent Aronto is bluffing. In either case, I believe we should respond. Navigators are extremely powerful and useful
in
allies to have.
order, Paris at the hand of rebel navigators of her house. Does not have anyone. Tell House Kiese is safe and Rogue Trader would be honored to meet in person.
I'll see to it, Lord Captain. The astropaths will transmit your
My headset
consent.
just died.
Representatives
So
of House
that is actually
Orsleo
going
will
to
be
be it for
waiting for
today.
you on the capital
I
world
hope-
Darganus. Receiving members of the Navi's Nobilite is always a delicate matter. Please make sure to discuss the details of this meeting with your Chancellor upon arrival.
Okay, so that is actually going to be it for me today. If you actually like what you saw today, we are trying to stream every single evening at 6 o'clock. And yeah, we're going to try continuing doing that, and that is just the will of it. And before we forget, we're going to save. What is it? Is it 14 or 15? It's 14. And if you actually like what you saw today, and you stick around until the end, thank you very much. If you see this on YouTube, yeah, great. Grim Dank drop for Rogue Trader to... What? Okay. Anyway, good night, everyone.